Hey folks, welcome back to Skip Squad Chronicles. Episode 12 is here and I couldn't be more excited because my guest is the amazing Kailey Christensen, aka at Kailey.jumps on Instagram. Kailey's energy, her creativity, and her genuine love of jump rope shine through in her reels and in this conversation. She's not just insanely talented and funny, her videos are a perfect mix of jaw-dropping combos and relatable moments, including the occasional frustrated rope toss, hilarious colorful metaphor, and genuine joy. We dive into everything from her favorite tricks to her lucky charm, her super supportive husband, and how skipping and the jump rope community have improved her life. This episode sort of felt like the perfect Christmas gift to the Skip Squad, so Merry Christmas, y'all. I hope you enjoy. Kailey Christensen, thank you so much for joining me on Skip Squad Chronicles. I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Anybody who wants to talk jump rope, I'm all in.
Yeah, me too. There's so few people to talk to around here about it. And the people that I do talk to are like, oh, yeah, that's cool. That's a jump rope, But I'm like, no, you don't get it. It's jump rope.
I know, right? I always feel so bad for my husband because that's just like all I ever talk about is jump rope. And he's so cute and supportive. And I can see him like wanting to be attentive. But
yeah,
in the back of his mind, he's like, Kailey, okay, enough.
Yeah. I was watching one of your videos earlier, and I think he was in the background saying encouraging things to you while you were getting frustrated. I thought, what a nice guy.
He is. You know what is so crazy? I call him my lucky charm, and he truly is. And he, like, if I can't get a combo and it's beating me down, I'll go run in and grab him and like, Code, I need you. Come outside and be my lucky charm. And the crazy thing is he'll watch me and I'll nail the combo in like 2 times while he's sitting there with me.
That is amazing.
He's my lucky charm.
Well, you got to hold on to that, Kailey.
Yes.
So I want to embarrass you a little bit and tell you what I love about you. So,
okay.
You're a fantastic jumper with a lot of energy and you're a trick machine. Like, I just can't believe your skills. You've got great taste in tunes, and you've got a smile that you wear almost all the time, except when you're sometimes frustrated and swear and throw the rope, which also makes me laugh.
Right.
I'm sorry, but... And another thing I like is that you share the struggle of jump rope in video. Like, it's not all rosy. Like, it's easy for us, not easy, but, you can put together a 30-second reel on Instagram that looks awesome and not show the 5 minutes of swearing and banging and crying and stuff like that. And you've put out those videos, which are actually super encouraging to people like me trying to learn, like, oh yeah, well, Kailey struggles with this too.
Well, it is. Jumping's hard business. It's not an easy sport. It's not an easy hobby. It's hard. And there is a lot of struggle all the time. I don't want people to just see your perfect, Instagram reel. Like, that's not all that it is. There's so much practice and so much hard work and dedication that goes into it. And I just want to be real, I just want... And I'm Kailey, and I get frustrated, and I swear, and I do throw my rope around and look psycho. I do. And so I just want people to see that side of it, that it's just not like all sunshine and rainbows all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I really do like that. And the other thing I wanted to say is that I see you all over Instagram lifting people up and encouraging people, and including me, and I'm so thankful for that. I think you're just such a lovely member of the community. And on behalf of me and my friends on Instagram, I just want to thank you for your contributions because you're amazing.
Well, you know what? Like, I love you guys. Like, I truly have built so many friendships within this community, and I've made so many great bonds with so many jumpers, and I just love to watch them. I love to see their progress, and it's so cool. It's just such a cool thing to watch everybody be inspired and motivated and, learn this new skill that's really tricky. And so it's really neat to watch and see everybody succeed and progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't it cool that the community is very inclusive and supportive? It's not like, oh, I got to do this better than Kailey. It's not like you're edging people out all the time. It's like, I am super happy when I see someone pull off something that they've been working on for a long time, even if I'm not going to get it for a while. Like, oh, that is so awesome. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so neat too. And it's like, even, there might be a little bit of jealousy, like, oh, I wish I could get that.
Yeah.
But it's never a vindictive kind of a thing. It's more inspiring when you see
Right.
somebody, that gets that and you're like, oh, I'm so jealous. I want to learn that. And you've
Yeah,
inspired me and you've motivated me to go out
absolutely.
and learn it. And so that's what's so neat about the jump rope community.
Yeah. I love that feeling too when like I'm thinking about a very specific thing that I saw at Janie on the jump do with her footwork in the summer. And I was like, man, that is so slick. I would love to just be as smooth as she is at that. And then, a few weeks ago, I'm jumping and I'm just doing that without thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, Janie, she's
You did
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. I love
So
that.
what part of the world are you in?
So I live in Utah,
Okay.
more on the northern side of Utah.
I've seen the beautiful mountains behind some of your videos, and I figured you were in somewhere around the Rockies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have some snow now where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah. You and
Yeah.
I
It's
are both
been,
in some cold weather.
yeah. Today was actually really beautiful. It was like in the mid 50s
Mm,
and the sun was out. But yeah, it's kind of been, I mean, I always say Utah weather is bipolar because it never can make up its mind on what temperature or weather we're going to get. So yeah,
yeah.
one day is, beautiful and warm. And then the next day it's a blizzard. So you never know what
Yeah.
you're going to get.
Yeah, that's one thing I sort of learned when I moved to the Midwest is some of these states are relatively flat, like mostly flat. And so weather can just fly by and you can have snow, for the morning and then super clear weather later in the afternoon. So what do you do for a profession? What do you do for work?
So I am lucky I get to work from home,
Nice.
but I work for the Department of Workforce Services. And I don't know how much detail you want,
Yeah.
but I do, it's called the Office of Child Care, and we put out grants for child care centers and school districts. And so like a lot of them are after school programs for the school districts. And so we give them money so that they can provide those different after school programs.
That's awesome. That's cool.
But I'm on the computer end of things, so it's not very glamorous.
Yeah. I know how that is. I'm in front of a computer a lot and I work from home as well.
Nice.
What do you do for
Isn't it the
fun when you're
best?
not skipping?
In the wintertime, I'm not a winter girl. I hate to be cold. So I really don't do a lot other than I have continued to jump throughout the winter. But if I'm not jumping, I love to do crafts. We have property up in the mountains that we go to our cabin quite often. So those are kind of the things I enjoy.
It's fun. So I think that your style is so energetic and full of life. You really like music, or I mean, like you post with a lot of cool music. I wonder how would you describe your style or what you like to do?
No, I've started doing this new thing where I like when I combined my combos and I like to have everything in it. I mean, there are some where I'll do just for footwork, but I do love doing footwork. That's probably my favorite. I feel like it's like the most dancey out
Hmm.
of all of the other things. And so footwork is probably my go-to, but I like to combine everything. I want to do a turn and I want to do a like a big trick or I don't know. I don't know what my style would be.
Yeah, I mean, I have noticed that you do combine a lot of different things. Like you're so good at rope wrangling and you've got the footwork going and turning around and yeah, you're super fun to watch. You're also an
Thank
outdoor
you.
jumper like I am. Do you jump indoors at all?
No, I hate it. I feel so claustrophobic. And mainly maybe because we don't have like a lot of space in the house and I feel like I'm going to hit everything. But no, it's claustrophobic. I just love to be out where I have lots of space and fresh air. And yeah, I'm kind of, this winter has been a little bit hard on me because I feel like I have nowhere to go.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like there's some friends that I've seen on Instagram who go to health clubs and jump there, and I like, well, if I bought a membership for a health club, I would be going just to jump.
Yeah.
That would be
Me
mainly
too.
what I would do, and it doesn't feel worth it. And so, but when it gets cold, do you do anything special to like prepare to go and jump out in the cold?
Yeah, I mean, I do almost 40, so stretching is like really important. And then yeah, I'll do just some warm up, just some small warm up jumps, just like a basic bounce or high knees or stuff like that. And
Is
then
it
and
is that a pretty standard warm up for you?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah, little footwork just to get the blood flowing.
yeah. How often are you practicing and jumping?
I like to go out every day if I can.
Hmm.
If I have the time to, I'm definitely out there trying to learn a new trick or just get a little workout in. So I try. Right now, the holidays are busy, so I haven't been able to jump as much.
When you go out and jump, how long are you jumping for usually?
So it's really nice with my work. I'm allowed 3 30-minute exercise time a week. And
Okay,
so during work, if I can, I'll go out on my back patio and jump for 30 minutes.
awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's really
so
cool.
nice. I know it's a great benefit.
Yeah, that is a cool benefit. I want a jump rope benefit. I have to talk to my boss. Do you always listen to music when you're jumping?
Always. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a must.
Yeah. You mentioned Dancy, and that's the way I am too. And when you said that, it sort of occurred to me, oh yeah, that's why footwork is like what I started with in my first love, is that it's very
Yeah,
dancey.
it is. It looks very dancy with the rope. That's
Yeah.
what I always say. I'm always dancing with my rope on the daily. I think that's in my bio.
Yeah. Yep. I saw that. And I do this, and I think of it the same way. And that's part of the reason that I name them all, because that way I can say, hey, I was dancing with Janie earlier, or
Yes.
Tarika whacked me in the
I
shin.
I love that you name your ropes. And you know what? I actually started naming mine too because I think it's so cute that you do that.
That's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Well, I talk to them, we have a very serious relation. I spend a lot of time with these, folks.
it's so true. I know. They're like our frenemies, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I've got this one hanging on the door here, which is that heavy beaded rope from Mira Weight. It's like about a quarter pound. I love the rope, but try and do a double under and whack yourself in the shin and you feel it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's a good bruise tomorrow.
Yeah. I just always think it hurt about John Mellencamp, it hurts so good.
Yes.
Because at
Yes.
least I can be out there jumping and hurt myself that way rather than,
Mm-hmm.
injured in some other way. Do you choreograph things, or I mean, I've seen you remix a few people's other routines, I think, but do you like actually plan something out?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a very scattered brain. And so getting into my older age, I have to have or I have to be organized and my brain needs to be organized or I have a really hard time like putting stuff together. And so everything is very thought out and very choreographed. And recently what I've started to do is in my Instagram folders, in my saved folders, I've created a folder for all of the different tricks. So like I have a release folder and I have a like just a trick folder and I have footwork folder and I have all these different I have like I don't even know, I have like 10 different ones. And then every time I see like a certain tutorial or something
Hmm.
cool that I want to do, I'll put it in one of those folders. And then I have a folder that's set up for my next routine. And then anything that I want, I'll move into my next routine. And then I kind of combined all of those different tutorials that I've saved and I've wanted to try.
That is so clever. So when you say in your folder, is that Instagram where you like favorite something and it asks you what you want to like,
Yeah.
what
Like,
category you want to put it in or something? That's the
yeah,
folder.
like if I save
Hmm.
something from somebody else's profile, yeah, I'll just create a new folder
Okay.
and put
That's so
whatever,
clever.
put it in. Yeah, it's really nice. And then it's not all in one folder where you're like scrolling and
Scrolling for
scrolling,
all day.
trying to find what you wanted to do? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll put like 5 or 6 things in my next routine folder. And then I like to combine them however they, flow best.
Mm-hmm.
And there's my routine. There's my
So
combo.
when you're combining them however they flow best, is this something you're thinking through, or do you go out and just kind of work through it and then kind of say, oh, yep, this goes with this, and this is going to be my routine?
Yeah, if I can get into it, if I can move from one move to the next while jumping and it fits really well, then I'll just kind of leave it. Or sometimes too, I mean, always my first step when building a combo is the song. I'll
Yeah, I
always
was going
pick
to
the
ask,
song.
like, doesn't the song influence kind of what you do?
Definitely. That's usually like where I'm going. So like I could see like if I picked a rap song, I could see like, oh, this move would go
Mm-hmm.
really great at this part of the song. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of just add on to it. So yeah, it's very thought out.
Yeah. What was the hardest like skill or trick for you to learn, or what were the most challenging?
I'd say the Mick release is still a big challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
The
Me too.
toad, yeah, it's hard, and I still really struggle with it to this day, even though I can do it and I know how to, but it's just never
Mm-hmm.
consistent.
You said the toad. So the toad, can you describe that for people who may not understand what the toad is?
Yeah, so the toad is where one of your arms goes under the opposite leg, and then you're like so you're crossing underneath, if that makes sense, saying it like that. But that one's hard. It's really tricky, and I can do it, but I know I'm not doing it correctly. And so
Mm.
to figure out what I'm doing wrong has been really hard for me.
Yeah. How have you learned? Like, how do you approach learning? Have you ever used an app or had a coach or read books, or what's your method?
So initially, when I first started jumping, I was just finding tutorials on Instagram of other jumpers. And so I kind of started out that way, and it was mainly footwork. And a lot of it, well, initially, I didn't really even know there was a jump rope community. I was like just finding like shuffle
Mm.
dancers,
Mm-hmm.
the like shuffle district, and they'd put on like different tutorials, and I'd learn the footwork, and then I'd tried to add the jump rope to it. And that's kind of how I started out. And then I did Lauren Jump's Fancy Feet app, and I
Mm-hmm.
paid for that for about a month. And that was really amazing because all of the tricks are just right there. And there's an order to how you should learn and which trick should come next. And so that was really helpful. And that progressed me a lot.
Yeah, that is a fantastic app, isn't it? And she does such a great job of talking through each individual trick and then showing you the common things people get wrong with the trick. Like, you're going to want to put your hands out like this when you come through, but you need to keep them in here.
Yeah.
I just love that. She's a
Yeah.
good teacher.
She's done a great job with that app. It's really organized and really
Hmm.
thought out. She's done a great job. I've actually thought about doing it again just because it's so nice to have all the tricks in one place.
Yeah. I did it a year at a time, and I've still got several months on it because I think I started in March. But yeah, I use it almost every time I go out, especially for the warm up. Really, is like she's got the warm ups in there, and so I'll do that. But
Yeah, that's so
found it,
nice.
yeah, I found it really helpful. Do you have times where you're just not motivated to jump, or you're having trouble, or are you always raring to go?
No, winter's really difficult for me because it's
Yeah.
cold and I just don't want to go out in the cold. But yeah, there's definitely times where I'm not feeling motivated or I just want to stay cuddled up in a blanket.
Hmm. Do you make yourself go, or do you have like tricks to keep yourself motivated?
Yeah, definitely. I'll push myself to do it. You always just feel so much better afterwards.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is that I know that, and I know it from so much experience, and I still have those days where I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. But every time I get out there and I start, it's like, oh, my day's better already. Like, I'm dancing. It's fun.
Yep. You turn the music on and you just go, and the music is a good mood booster, and then the jumping is a good stress reliever.
Hmm.
And you kind of forget about responsibilities and
Hmm.
you know
So,
being an adult.
right. Yeah. Adulting is hard. Um, Do you always choreograph everything you do, or do you sometimes just go out and jump and flow with music just for fun?
If I'm not choreographing something, then I'm just doing, something to work out. I'm just trying to get my body moving and get a nice workout in. But most of the time I'm trying to like come up with, or I'm learning a new trick. I want to learn a new trick. So
Hmm.
I'm out.
Yeah, you had a video that you posted recently of you trying to do or learning the Mamba, I think, where the mech release where you kind of go from one side to the other. And I
Yes.
love that video. And it's another illustration of a video where you're showing like, hey, this stuff is not easy. Like it takes time and you almost hit yourself in the head.
Yes, many times. I actually did off camera.
Yeah.
Whacked me so
Yeah.
hard. I
Yeah.
saw stars afterwards.
Yeah. I've joked about you getting frustrated and throwing the rope, but how do you handle the mental side of like a jump rope, like focus and frustration and pushing through tough sessions? You've got a
It's
charm
hard.
in your husband, apparently. You can drag him out and
Yes.
he helps.
My lucky charm does. He comes out when I get really angry and tries to cool me off a little bit. But I get so frustrated. It is hard business jumping. And, it the swear words and the crying and the throwing the rope, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
But the
I was
thing
wondering
is,
about your neighbors.
gosh, I know they watch me too because their back balcony is like on the second level of their
Mm,
house, and we're kind of on a little bit of a slant. And so I know they can see right into our yard from like
right.
their balcony or their kitchen. And sometimes I have to like stop myself and be like, I know they're watching, like don't make a fool out of yourself. But the thing is you put so much time and effort into creating the combo and all the work, trying to nail the combo. And it truly does get really frustrating when you hit that record button, pressure is on.
Hmm.
And I can't tell you, it's 50 plus times that you trip up and you mess up and you fail. And I'll I'll say like when you nail that combo, and in all of my reels after I finish a combo there is like a surprise face or this
Yeah.
excitement face, and it's legit, it's
No,
genuine because
it's
I've worked
totally,
my
yeah.
ass off. Yes,
Right.
I worked my ass off to nail that combo and I just did, and it's like
Yeah.
it's so exciting.
Right. Yeah, that's it's such a delightful part of your videos is that moment of the light bulb and this huge smile, like, I got it, I got it.
I did it.
Yeah.
Finally, I did it.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier, like not really knowing that there was much of a jump rope community. Obviously, there's quite a community now and you're a big part of it. What does it mean to you or what has it meant to you to be part of that community?
Dizzy. The world needs more people like the jump rope community. Like, they're so supportive. They're good-hearted, genuine people. I mean, I can't tell you how many friendships I've built and bonds that I've made with people from all over the world. Like, it's incredible.
Hmm.
I am so lucky to have stumbled upon this community because they're just the best.
Yeah. I'm so with you. And you don't have to be a pro jumper. I've said this on previous podcasts, but my first video, I can't make myself go back and watch it right now, but I know that I posted it and within maybe 10 minutes, like Jenny just jumped, gave me a, thumbs up or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's somebody out there who actually watched that and it felt kind of
Yeah,
good. And so I love
it
doing that with
does.
other people too. It's just, it feels so great to help out and be part of people's journeys.
It's so true. And I love like the newcomers and the beginners and
Hmm.
the rookies. I have a soft spot for the rookies, and I want to cheer the rookie on
Right.
and let them know that, they can do this and they can get to that point that everybody else is at.
Yep. Because you worked through it all yourself and you know that how awkward it felt to learn the shuffle, right?
Yes, it's so true.
Yeah. So I know you are an ambassador for, I think, Elevate Rope and then Dope Ropes as well. You are also a fellow Beaded fan, or at least I know you jump with Beaded quite a lot. Can you talk a little bit about the ropes that you like?
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely a beaded girl for sure. And I have the Elevate ropes and I have the Dope ropes and I think I have one Elite SRS rope that's a beaded rope.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them all. They're all really great ropes. I'm not a huge fan of PVC yet. I have some, but
Mm-hmm.
we're not the best of friends.
They're tough, like this time of year in our climates, like when it gets this cold, like outside, they get stiff, right? Like I snapped one
Oh yeah.
last winter after using it for maybe 2 times, something like
Oh
that.
no,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. So it's got to be above freezing here. Otherwise, they're difficult. I've even taken them
Yeah.
and wrapped them around my belly under one of my, hoodies and left them there to
Stick it in
warm
your
up.
armpit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Just
Put
to
it in
warm
your
it up
pit.
enough so that it's flexible so that I can just hop for a little bit till it gets stiff and unwieldy again.
Yeah. I feel like the PVC rope is for, speed, and I'm not quite there yet. So
Hmm.
I just dig the beaded rope.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the weight and the feedback and the sound too, although I'm usually listening to music relatively loud, but the sound
Yeah,
is satisfying as well.
I agree.
I've noticed on several of your videos, you have said, like, this has been inspired by Kathy Jumps, or this is something that I learned from Kathy Jumps. And she, by the way, is fantastic. And she seems like so down to earth. I love watching her videos. What is it about her style or her jumping that speaks to you?
I think she's incredible. I mean, there's so many incredible jumpers, and I'm inspired by all of them, honestly. But she has this style that is just energetic, and she's just flailing the rope and has so much fun with it. And her tutorials are really great too. When she does her tutorials, she's got some pretty in-depth and detailed tutorials. So I really like to use some of her things that she teaches.
Hmm. Have there been other people that have been especially inspiring to you or that you've looked to learn skills from?
I mean, there's a lot. There's so
I know.
many. I don't want to just pick a couple
I know
because
what you mean. Yeah.
they're all so great and have all of them have such great styles too. I know when I first wanted to start jumping, Lauren jumps, obviously. She's always just dancing with her rope. And I think
Hmm.
that's what really drew me to jump rope was her style. Who else? Jump rope sisters.
Yeah.
They're really fun with their dancing moves too. So,
Yeah.
but really, honestly, everybody is so inspiring.
Right. And I love that you point out everybody's got their own style, and that's great. It's
Mm-hmm.
so cool to see people just have their own take on things. They move a little differently.
Yep.
And so when did you decide to pick up a rope? Like I think your profile says you started in what, August of 23?
Yeah. Yep.
And so why did you do it?
So my kids were getting older and, more independent and didn't need me as much. Too cool for mom. No, I'm kidding. But I kind of started to notice like I had more free time than I was used to and kind of started to get a little down in the dumps because I didn't really have anything going on. My husband kept telling me, you need a hobby and you need something exciting to look forward to. And I'd seen Lauren Jumps on Instagram and I saw her style and her dancing with her jump
Hmm.
rope. And I thought, how cool. And I ordered a cheap jump rope off of Amazon.
Hmm.
And I think my very first Instagram jump post, my caption said, I want to be like those cool bitches that dance with their jump ropes. And
Yeah, me
and
too.
here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am. I'm still doing it, which is so cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, I just remember how insanely captivated I was by watching those videos. Like watching Lauren, I watched her forever. And then like Katie Jumps, I think she's out of LA or something. She's insanely good too. And I
They're
just
so good.
spent so much time like I I got to learn how to do that. That is awesome.
Yeah. They're so fast and they're so talented. It's unreal.
It is, but I remember looking at it and thinking like that is magic. But what I have learned over time is like you go out and you put in the time. Like you put in a lot of time and sweat and tears and blood, and you learn this kind of stuff. And you're amazing. Like if I would have seen your
Yeah.
video at the same time, I would have been like, these women are insane, And so if you put in the
Thank you.
time, you can, even those people who are just starting out, like I know what it was like when I started in March and was like, my feet don't work the way my brain wants them to.
You're so awkward and so uncoordinated, but
Right.
it's pretty crazy. And your style is so cool. And I'm so jealous how you can freestyle the way that you do. And it comes out so great every time.
Well, that's nice of you to say, and I really appreciate that. But there is also a lot of video of me whacking myself in the back of the head and swearing and just
Yep.
laughing constantly at myself for making mistakes. There are the times where I've got a 10-minute video and trying to find 30 seconds of usable material is like a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. The editing part of finding what to post is always the longest process, it seems like.
Yeah, it sure can be, especially if you're trying to like sync it with music and make it kind of come out so that it looks, cool or
Yeah.
intentional. You've come so far so fast. So what's next on the docket for Kailey to learn or perfect?
There's so many. The jump rope tricks are endless.
Yeah.
And it can almost feel kind of overwhelming sometimes because they're just like, oh my gosh, there's so much to learn. But I feel like right at the moment, the Mamba is one that I am definitely working on. And then, did I already say this? I feel like I said this already, but just different variations of mic releases and
Mm,
different variations of double unders. Because right now I don't, I can do like the basic double under and like the side swing double under, but that's about it. So I
hmm.
kind of want to learn different variations of all those.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's so much to learn. And that's part of the cool thing too, is that it's not like you win the game and then,
Yeah.
there's always something more to do or another song to dance to.
Yeah. There's always a new challenge for sure.
Have you ever done like a coordinated jump with another person? I know you've remixed things, but like, have you ever gone to a meetup or done coordinated jumps?
No, I've never gone to a meetup, but I did do a collab with Cora. What's her name? Umps Row, I think is
Mm-hmm.
her
Yeah,
Instagram handle. We did a collab, which was really cool. And then I did recently one with Yaz. And that was really cool too. That's really fun to do. That was new for me. So
yeah. So,
yeah.
and how did that work? Did you both just decide on like a song to jump to and then work out a routine between the two of you?
Yeah, so Cora and we picked the song together and then I choreographed half of it and then she choreographed the other half. And then we learned each other's parts and then just put it all together into one. So that was
That's so
really
cool.
fun. And
How
then
long did
Yaz
that
and
take
I
you
did,
to kind of put together and get to the point where you could film it?
it took a little bit longer just because there was such a time difference.
Sure.
I think she's
Romania.
from Romania. And so it was like almost a whole day difference. And so
Yeah.
it probably took a week, maybe a little over
Hmm.
a week to actually get it and record it together.
Cool.
And then when I did it with Yaz, we did it a little bit different. We just found a bunch of different footwork tutorials and then just said this one here, this one here, this one here. And we put that one together really quickly.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. I have this dream of going to one of those big meetups. Like I've seen, that you see like Mira's posted meetups from Frankfurt, on Instagram, or you've seen pictures of the ones in London, and it looks like it would be so much fun.
Oh, it would be so fun. I would
Yeah.
love to go to the London meetup.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It seems like there's so many jumpers in the UK too.
Hmm.
More so than the US, I feel like. I don't know.
Well, one thing is like Cancer Research UK is constantly putting on these, jump rope challenges. And that's one of the ways that they've been raising money. And I think 3-4 people that I've interviewed so far on the podcast all kind of got introduced to or inspired to continue jumping because of those benefits. And I don't see that kind of stuff around here. Not that they don't have them in the US. I just am not aware of them. But
Right. That's so cool. I love
yeah,
that they
it
do
is really
that.
cool. So what advice or experience would you give somebody who's just starting out, who's, kind of like that newbie you were talking about?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one. I'd say practice is key. That's huge. You have to practice to be able to progress. Another one that's really worked for me that I've been pretty consistent about is learning one new trick every week. And that's really helped me fill my bag of tricks pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like another one that's been huge for me is don't compare or judge yourself to somebody else, to somebody else's skills, because, that's a lot easier said than done. And I'm definitely guilty of doing that same thing because you want to be as good as them, of course, but don't ever compare yourself, embrace your own journey and be you, be yourself,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah, I've seen you post a video about that, as a matter of fact, and where you were giving some tips, and one of them was like, don't compare yourself to somebody else. And I think that's really good advice. It is hard not to think like, oh my gosh, I want to be able to do, the Mamba like Kailey. But I think I said in an earlier podcast that I, at one point, was joking. I think Jenny Just Jump posted a video of her doing, some skipping in a gym. And I just love her and I love her skipping. And I was like, I can't wait till I grow up and I can jump like you do. And she said something back to me, and I should go look it up because I keep kind of misquoting it, I'm sure. But it was something to the effect of, your jumping is your jumping and my jumping is my jumping. And that's okay.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is okay, and it's actually taken a lot of pressure off of me because I've a lot of time over the summer, I didn't really work on learning new tricks as much as just getting out and flowing. And I was using it more for mental health and stress relief and fun. And I didn't put so much pressure on myself to learn tricks. But then I would see people who started jumping after I did, like doing the Mamba and stuff. And I would think, well, should I be better or should I be further along? No, give yourself a break,
Yeah. Yeah, that's not fair to yourself. Yeah,
Right.
I agree. And just be you and just embrace your journey and don't
Yeah.
worry about what anybody else's journey is like. And have fun. That's the whole
Yeah.
reason why we're doing it. We just want to have a good time
Yeah. And see you throw your rope and swear at it.
and get frustrated. Yeah,
Boy, I can't tell you how much joy those videos have brought me.
I
I'm
know.
sorry, it's your misery, but I just like rope throwing in general. It makes me laugh.
But
So can you talk, I mean, we talked about the community and how it's affected you, but in general, like what has jump rope done for you physically or mentally, or how has it changed you personally?
loads. It's done so much. I mean, mentally, it has built my confidence, allowed me to be creative. It's something I look forward to every day. Physically, it's built my stamina. I was just telling my husband the other day, walk our dog every day. And recently I've started to jog rather than walk. And
Mhm.
I can, I'm jogging the whole way and I'm still jogging when I get into the driveway. So
Yeah, and you're not winded.
yeah, it's huge. I made it the whole
Mhm.
way. Normally I would stop halfway and just continue walking. So it's built my stamina. It's helped with definition in my legs and my arms. It's perked up some other areas of the body that I'm
Mhm.
happy about. So it's done so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so cool that something that is so fun, or at least to me, is so fun, comes with so many amazing benefits. Like the mental health benefits were not something that I thought about up front. I mean, I always want to feel better mentally, but the amount of improvement that I've had, or, relief that I've had, going through
Yes.
tough times or stuff and being able to go out and just kind of put it all away and hear the rope whack and dance.
Yes, it's so true.
So favorite rope color combo?
Rope color combo. I love like bright, happy colors. So pinks and purples. Green is my favorite color, but pinks and purples are really pretty together.
Yeah, they are. In fact, I've got a pink and purple one here.
Oh,
I made this
yeah.
one.
Well, very pretty.
And about the music that you jump to, do you like make playlists on an app or something like that?
Yeah, I have just the unlimited Amazon Music,
Mm-hmm.
and I do have a jump rope playlist, and I'm adding to it constantly. And my husband is so stinking cute. He sends me like text messages and will like add the song to the text and be like, "Ooh, this would be a really good one to jump to." So
Nice.
I'm constantly, yeah, he's so cute. So I'm constantly adding so many songs to it. I can't even pick anymore because I have so many. I'm like, which one am I going to do? Because they're all so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, you already said that you kind of jump during the day sometimes when you get a break. I was going to ask, do you do morning or night jumps?
Well, not in the winter time. I don't.
Yeah.
In the winter time, it's usually too cold in the morning or night. So typically I try to do it in the afternoon. But in the summertime, when it's really hot, I will try to wake up first thing in the morning and jump in the morning.
Yeah. That's always fun. I especially on weekends, I will get up and be at the park right when it opens or, shortly after it opens and spend a ridiculous amount of time there. So
Right?
much
Oh
fun.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how you jump in like public places. I get so like self-confident, I get like my self-esteem gets a little.
Yeah, it's a relatively new thing, honestly, Kaylee. Well, first of all, jumping for me started in March, right? So everything's relatively new in that regard. But I would say I've had a few things happen in my life over the last 2 years that sort of changed some perspectives. And I decided, life's too short to let other people rule my happiness. And so if I want to dance to the song while I'm walking downtown, I'm going to dance. And so I do. And I don't really care what people think. It's kind of their business if they like it or if they dislike it. And
Good for
I would
you.
love, I would love them to like it. And when I dance and when I'm jumping in public places, like honestly at the park, I will most often try to get places that are a little out of the way of people. So like it's not like I'm edging people out and jumping right in front of them. But yeah, I don't mind if people are around. I just try not to be intrusive, like I don't want to be the center of the stage or whatever.
Well,
But
that's
yeah,
so great and good for you. I wish I had that confidence where I could just go out and, not have a care what
yeah.
people think of me, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm a little self-conscious about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I still have bouts sometimes where I feel a little of that, but yeah, I guess you get to a point where there's not so much left to lose. And so
Yes,
why not?
right?
Yeah.
And who knows, you'll probably never see him again anyways, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know that I've said this on the podcast, but I had before I moved out to Minnesota, I lived in Washington, south of Seattle, in a place called Gig Harbor, and I would sometimes go on walks, but I would also be just driving around town, and I would see this lady, I would guess she was in maybe her 60s or early 70s, and she was a walker, and so she would go out with her headset in, and she would be walking down the road, and she would get into it, like she was dancing her butt off, and having so much fun. And I remember seeing her and thinking, that is so lovely. Like, I wish I had the confidence to be able to just bust loose in town like that. And it always made me smile. And I always felt better after I saw her. And that was also motivating for me too. Like, hey, if I want to dance, somebody might see it and go, yay. And I have that happen where people, hoot and holler or take pictures. And so that's fine. It's fun.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, Kaylee, I really, really, really appreciate you coming on and talking to me. This was so much fun. And thank you so much for sharing your jump rope videos. I've learned a lot from you, and I'm sure I will continue to learn a lot from you. And thank you so much for your support as well. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dizzy. And you are so supportive also. You are always so kind. And thanks for doing this. This is so cool. You always you get to kind of know all these jumpers and you become friends with them and you kind of want to know a little bit more about them. And I've binge listened to all the episodes, and
Dude,
it is so fun to get to know everybody.
isn't
So
it?
thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, my
Yeah.
pleasure. I'm so glad that it's made some people happy and that people are enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So keep the episodes coming.
All right. Well, we'll do.